हाय एवरीवन। आज मिलते हैं वापस 12th स्टैंडर्ड फॉर द सेकेंड लेक्चर ऑफ 12th स्टैंडर्ड मैथ सीरीज ऑनलाइन यूट्यूब on Dev Sir's Mathemagic. Okay, so as we have discussed before, I'll be directly starting with exercise 1.1 now from the 12th standard textbook. 11th standard के एग्जाम खत्म हो गए. It doesn't mean that you should immediately start with this. Relax करो, जब टाइम मिलेगा तब वीडियो देखो. Enjoy the video. I assure you all the basics will be strong. कुछ डाउट है तो पूछो. Okay? So let us begin. That day we just took an introduction for what is a composite function and how to find the derivative of a composite function. Same thing we are going to continue but from the textbook now. तो टेक्स्ट में पहला सम क्या दिया है देखें. Differentiate with respect to x. Differentiate means to find the derivative. For the problems taken today we are going to use only two formulae. जिस दिन वीडियो लेक्चर में जो फॉर्मूले यूज करने वाले उतने मैं लिखने वाला हूं. So that step by step everything will be clear. First formula is d by dx of x raised to n. Maximum use formula. n सामने आता है x raised to n minus 1. d by dx of x raised to 8. 8 सामने आता है x raised to 8 minus 1. 8x raised to 7. Sometimes d by dx of x raised to minus 8 भी रहता है और it can be a fraction also. Same thing. Whatever is present at the top, ऊपर कुछ भी रहे नेगेटिव नंबर फ्रैक्शन उसको सामने लाने का x raised to ऊपर से सब्ट्रैक्ट करने का. -8 -1 यहाँ पे 8 -1 किया, यहाँ पे -8 -1. Now -8 -1 is -9. So in this case the answer is -8x raised to -9. जो भी नंबर है वो सामने आता है ऊपर से सब्ट्रैक्ट कर दे. d by dx of root x 1/2 root x. दो ही फॉर्मूले आज यूज करने वाले for the sums that I am going to take. Right. Now from the exercise 1.1 problem number 2. क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा है? Differentiate with respect to x means to find the derivative. Whatever the sum given, we are going to call it as y. Let y equal to. Okay. So y is equal to all this. Differentiate DIFF is the short form. WRT with respect to x. Now we all know differentiate यानी क्या? दोनों तरफ d by dx. So d by dx of y, d by dx of the RHS. Now which formula are we going to use? Use d by dx of x raised to n. First formula we discuss किया ना? n x raised to n minus 1. Every time we will be using a certain formula. I will be taking up a smiley here. Smiley and just smile and use the formula. Relax. Smiley बोलता है ये formula use करो, आराम से use करो. No need to take any tension. Formula automatic by heart हो जाएगा. This is a simple formula. No need to by heart this. Okay. अभी यह formula क्यों use करना है? Because this is like x. देखो. If you take this whole thing as x raised to 5/2, x raised to n. So that is the first function. Composite यानी combination रहता है. This is the first function x raised to 5/2. I am calling this full thing as x suppose. Okay. So x raised to 5/2 यानी क्या? 5/2 comes in front. X raised to 5/2 minus 1. but no need to write let x equal to this. No need to write. Just imagine this as x. Use the formula. 5 by 2 comes in front. Bracket raised to 5 by 2 minus 1. यहाँ पे कैसा 8 comes in front, x raised to 8 minus 1. Same thing over here. 5 by 2 comes in front. This bracket raised to 5 by 2 minus 1. So this x raised to n formula is over. I'll just put a tick mark over there. And into d by dx of the inner function also. So 11th and 12th standard में ये main फर्क है दोस्तों. बाहर का फंक्शन का डेरिवेटिव लेने के बाद अंदर तक जाना है. So into d by dx of this bracket, we have to take the derivative of that also. Clear? That is called as chain rule. Right? So after using this formula, 5 by 2 सामने आया है. Bracket raised to 5 by 2 minus 1. I put a tick mark over here because x raised to n formula is over. Into d by dx of this bracket, अंदर तक जाना है. Now d by dx of this bracket, I have written in the next step. Derivative तो लेना ही है ना bracket का. So that should be done in the next step. So इस थोड़ा simplify करेंगे. 5 by 2 bracket raised to 5 by 2 minus 1 is 3 by 2. Check करो. 2 LCM है. 1 into 2. 5 minus 2. 3 by 2. Right? So we get this. यहाँ पे 3 by 2 आ गया. Now we'll take the derivative. This derivative is 11th standard stuff. Derivative of 2x raised to 3 by 2. I'm just opening up the brackets. हर एक term का derivative ले रहा हूँ मैं. So take 2 outside. d by dx of x raised to 3 by 2. Constant को बाहर लेके अंदर derivative. 3 outside. d by dx of x raised to 4 by 3. d by dx of 5. Simple. Clear? अभी d by dx of x raised to 3 by 2. Again the same formula. n x raised to n minus 1. x के ऊपर कौन सा भी कांस्टेंट रहेगा उसको सामने लेके ऊपर से -1 करना है. सो फर्स्ट ब्रैकेट तो मिल गया. अभी देखो यहाँ पे सी 2 into x raised to 3 by 2 डेरिवेटिव कैसे लोगे. 3 by 2 comes in front. x raised to 3 by 2 minus 1. 3 constant outside. d by dx of x raised to 4 by 3. How are you going to find out? 4 by 3 comes in front. X raised to 4 by 3 minus 1. And remember, after using the formula, don't write d by dx. d by dx means you are using the formula for x raised to n. Okay. So 4 by 3 comes in front. X raised to 4 by 3 minus 1. And don't forget that 3 is also there. And derivative of any constant is 0. Now just basic algebra. We have already got this bracket. Now observe, when solving this bracket, now 2 gets cancelled, 3 gets cancelled. What remains? 3x raised to 3 by 2 minus 1 is half. You can calculate and check. 3 gets cancelled. 4 by 3 minus 1. 1 into 3 is 3. 4 minus 3, 1 by 3. That is our answer. Finished. Chain rule हो गया. But when writing the answer, remember, x raised to half means root x. X raised to 1 by 3 means cube root of x. Laws of indices. So better way of writing the answer, x raised to half, we will call it as root x. X raised to 1 by 3, we will call it as cube root of x. और ये ब्रैकेट पहले लिखते हैं because only 2 terms are there. And then दिस ब्रैकेट 5/2 को शिफ्ट नहीं किया. देयर इज नो हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल कैसे लिखना चाहिए. यू कैन कीप इट इन दिस वे ऑल्सो, बट x raised to half it is better to write as root x raised to 1/3 cube root of x. So how did we use the chain rule here in this given problem? First use the formula. Now see here, अभी सब हो गया तो अभी मैं डायरेक्ट लिख रहा हूँ. First use the formula x raised to n. इसको अगर x बोले तो x raised to n. 5/2 आगे आ गया. x raised to 5/2 minus 1 into d by dx of x के जगह क्या है उसका भी डेरिवेटिव लेना है. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज डेरिवेटिव ऑफ कॉम्पोजिट फंक्शन और चेन रूल. क्लियर? एंड देन व्हाइल टेकिंग द डेरिवेटिव ऑफ दिस ब्रैकेट 11th स्टैंडर्ड आ गया. सिंपल. कांस्टेंट बाहर, डेरिवेटिव अंदर, कांस्टेंट बाहर, डेरिवेटिव अंदर. यूज द फॉर्मूला, यू गेट द आंसर. सिंपल सी बात है. यू विल गेट यूज्ड टू द चेन रूल. राइट? नाउ लेट अस टेक द सेकंड वन. फर्स्ट तो हो गया, अभी यहाँ पे सेकंड वन लेंगे. Okay, keep your notebooks ready for the second one. Okay, all set for the second sum. Second sum means actually it is the fifth sum from the exercise. Second sum for today. देखते हैं क्या. Y is equal to 3 upon 5 into क्यूब रूट ऑफ 2x squared minus 7x minus 5 raised to 5. इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं है, डोंट वरी, घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है. क्यूब रूट ऑफ 2x squared minus 7x minus 5 raised to 5. तो इसको क्या करना है, फर्स्ट लॉज ऑफ इंडाइसेस यूज करेंगे. तो लॉज ऑफ इंडाइसेस कैसे यूज करेंगे. सपोजिंग इफ वी कॉल दिस एज x, जो बड़ी चीज होती है ना उसको पहले x बोलो, सिंपल हो जाता है. If we call this as x, ये जो अंदर है ना, इसको अगर x बोला, so what do we get? Cube root of x bracket raised to 5. देखो, cube root of x bracket raised to 5. Now, according to laws of indices, we get x raised to 5 upon 3. 5 remains in the numerator. This comes in the denominator. लॉज ऑफ इंडाइसेस. इंडाइसेस का फंडा. 4th root of x bracket raised to 7. x raised to 7 upon 4. 4 goes in the denominator. Basic 8th 9th laws of indices. Right? So what I am going to do is just use the laws of indices over here. So यहाँ कैसे x raised to 5/3 आ गया. In the same way, I am writing this bracket raised to 5 upon 3. So what is the use of doing this? Root sign goes. If you want to remove the root sign, use laws of indices. So bracket raised to 5 upon 3. That is what I get. Now what should be the next step? यहां पे डिफरेंशिएट मत करो. गेट दिस ब्रैकेट इन द न्यूमरेटर. ये जो ब्रैकेट है यहां से न्यूमरेटर को लाना है. नाउ व्हेन आई गेट दैट ब्रैकेट इन द न्यूमरेटर, व्हाट हैपेंस? यू गेट रेज्ड टू -5 upon 3. 5/3 gets converted into -5 upon 3. So what is the use of taking that bracket in the numerator? क्या यूज है सोचो. So that this has been converted in the form x raised to n d by dx of x raised to n x raised to n minus 1. X should be in the numerator. That is the reason this bracket of x should be in the numerator, so that if I call this as x again, x raised to -5/3. Same formula. Okay? That is the reason that we took the bracket in the numerator. पहले सम में जो फॉर्मूला यूज किया था वही करना है. d by dx of x raised to n x raised to n minus 1. सो यहाँ पे भी देखो क्या करें. While taking this bracket in the numerator, 3 by 5 I have written separate. 3 upon 5 you can keep it aside. Because while taking the derivative, you have to keep the constant separate and take the derivative. इसलिए 3 by 5 separate रखा है. Now differentiate with respect to x. d by dx of y, 3 by 5 constant, d by dx of this bracket raised to minus 5 by 3, for which I will be using the formula d by dx of x raised to n. x raised to n. x के जगह bracket है, but formula is the same. n x raised to n minus 1. इसलिए minus 5 by 3 comes in front. This bracket raised to minus 5 by 3 minus 1. ऊपर कुछ भी इंडेक्स हो, negative, positive, fraction, you have to do minus 1 at the top. So look here again. 3 by 5 constant, I have kept it aside. Derivative of this bracket means minus 5 by 3 comes in front. Bracket raised to minus 5 by 3 minus 1. n x raised to n minus 1. And don't forget, into d by dx of this bracket also. अभी minus 5 by 3 का हो गया काम. लेकिन अंदर का फंक्शन है अभी. Derivative of 2x squared minus 7x minus 5 should be done. This is the extra thing that we are doing in the 12th standard. Okay, so derivative of this bracket. This is called as chain rule or composite function का derivative. So next step में d by dx of this means 11 standard stuff देखेंगे. अभी क्या होता है देखो, this 3 by 5 and minus 5 by 3 जो आगे आया है वो कैंसिल हो गया. 3 gets cancelled, 5 gets cancelled, minus 1 remains. So minus 1 into this bracket raised to minus 5 by 3 minus 1 calculate करो. Three LCM, 1 into 3, minus 5 minus 3 is minus 8 by 3. How do you take the derivative now? I told you 11 standard stuff. Open up the brackets. 2 is a constant, d by dx of x squared. Minus 7 is a constant, d by dx of x. d by dx of any constant, derivative of 5, 10, 100, 0. Derivative of any constant is 0. So directly I have written 0. So how do I simplify further? Minus 1, this remains the same. यहाँ पे minus 1 कैसे आया? By cancelling this. This remains the same. d by dx of 2x squared is क्या किया है देखो, d by dx of 2x squared. Again use the formula for x raised to n. अभी x raised to n का formula, I just show it again here. Observe. x raised to n का formula 2 comes in front, x raised to 2 minus 1, n x raised to n minus 1. So 2 comes in front, x raised to 2 minus 1. d by dx of x अपना favorite है, derivative of x is 1. No need to write 0. So next step, 2 into 2, 4x. 2 minus 1 is raised to 1, which is 4x minus 7. And इस समय क्या किया है? Minus 8 by 3 again I got in the denominator. Derivative लेते समय most of the things try to get in the numerator. But while writing the answer, minus 8 by 3 should be written properly as 8 by 3. इसलिए ब्रैकेट डिनोमिनेटर में लाया है. So minus 1 into 4x minus 7. Correct? Now minus 1 can be written as only minus sign. Either you can write minus 1 या तो minus sign सिर्फ लिखा तो भी चलता है. So minus into 4x minus 7 upon 2x squared minus 7x minus 5 raised to 8 by 3. That is our answer. So friends, 12th standard is quite simple, isn't it? एक दो तीन step extra है. Get the basics right. Do some hard work while writing. That's all. It's not difficult. Simple. So we have seen in the 2 lectures how to use chain rule. Now in the next lecture, chain rule के पहला chain rule के problems बहुत हैं. Okay. So next lecture we'll see the next few sums. कौन से type के? Next question 1 किया है अभी, question 2 देखेंगे क्या है. Right. So enjoy your 12th standard. Enjoy your vacation. Start working slowly and don't worry. That's all for today. Bye.